Welcome to Board Games Galore. My name is Chris. This channel we cover the top 5 board games. If you like, please click the thumbs up and subscribe. So let's begin. For ones who may not know, what is steampunk? Steampunk is a design style inspired by Victorian era industrialism. Top 5 steampunk board games. Steamworks. A game for 2 to 5 players. 60 to 120 minutes playtime. Ages are 13 years old and up. Based in the Victorian era, Steamworks is a building game designed for teenagers, as well as adults. Build devices out of sources and components to impress the queen. In this steampunk worker placement game, you pick which effects are in play by building the worker placement spots, machines, from scratch. Build machines that are useful to you, or that are useful to others, as you will be rewarded if other players use them. It has a deep strategic play. Up next is Steampunk Rally. There are 2 to 8 players. Game length, 45 to 60 minutes. Ages are 13 years old and up. This game incorporates steampunk as more than just a bit of chrome. Using a unique dice placement mechanic, players take on the roles of famous inventors like Nikola Tesla and Marie Curie, constructing fantastical contraptions that make use of steam, heat and electricity in an attempt to win a no-holds-barred race through the Swiss Alps. The Steampunk Rally game is an easy-to-learn, exciting game for a group. You get to build a steampunk race car and race against time to reach the end. Players combine the use of cards and dice to win the game along with building unique steampunk machines. It is so much fun to play, especially after the first few rounds when players get acclimated. It is unique because you get to build your own machine, while playing, and it uses a lot of imagination. Next is Red Planet. There are 2 to 6 players. Playtime is 45 to 90 minutes. The ages are 14 years old and up. Launch an expedition to Mars and mission. Red Planet, the steampunk-themed board game of planetary exploration, designed by Bruno Cathala and Bruno Faiduti. As the leaders of ruthless, Victorian-era mining corporations, players compete to occupy Mars and harvest the planet's priceless mineral ores and ice. You need to cleverly utilize the talents of 9 wily characters, who can lead your exploration of Mars and sabotage your competition. This new edition of an acclaimed game incorporates revisions by the original designers and features all new graphic design. This is a game with a steampunk theme and a science fiction mission. It is a game that can be played by devoted gamers and non-gamers alike that engages the players throughout the game with exciting play up to the last minute. Up next is Steam Time. For ages 12 years old and up. There are 2 to 4 players. The play time is 90 minutes. I have included the manufacturer video. After it plays, I will return and talk more.
Embark on an odyssey through time and around the world in Steam Time. The year is 1899. Economies are expanding. Populations are booming. The steam engine has mechanized the world. Now electricity is sparking a new era of innovation, and a vigorous race of exploration and conquest has begun. You have been hired by Time, the Temporal Institute for Monument Exploration, to seek out valuable resources, complete missions, and ultimately win their esteem. You have been equipped with a time-traveling airship and resources including steam, gold, and mysterious crystals with unusual powers. With these, you must travel through time and around the world, going on expeditions to wondrous monuments and encountering famous people throughout history. There are multiple ways to earn and use resources towards completing your missions and earning the ultimate prize, esteem. Use gold to purchase crystals and power the resource generators in your airship. Use crystals to buy airship upgrades, and employ steam to change the color of crystals. But ever hedging their bets, Time has hired other airship captains as well, pitting you against each other in a desperate race for honor. Over 5 rounds, you must decide which resources offer you the best path toward victory. In advanced modules, saboteurs and specialist agents stir things up even more. With its unique gameplay and gorgeous artwork, Steam Time is truly a game for the ages. For 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. From Thames and Cosmos.
It is the year 1899. For centuries, there have been myths about Stonehenge, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and other monuments of times long past. But recently, they also caught interest from various nations. Rumors of strange phenomena, and scientific reports multiplied. Time acts strange at these places. Prepare for a great journey with Steam Time. Last on the list is Dastardly Dirigibles. There are 2 to 5 players. The play time is 60 minutes. The ages are 8 years old and up. I have included the manufacturer video. After it plays I will return and talk more.
Professor Phineas Edmund Hornswoggle, known for building the highest quality airships, has announced his retirement. As one of the greatest airship engineers in the kingdom, you have gathered at the Hornswoggle factory in a competition to build the best airships you can and become the successor to the Hornswoggle Empire. The object of Dastardly Dirigibles is to score the most points after 3 rounds of play. A round ends when a player completes an airship. Each card in the suit used most in players' ships scores 2 points, and any wild cards in the ship score 1 point. To set up Dastardly Dirigibles, give each player a guide sheet. Shuffle all the cards together and deal each player a hand of 5, face down. Place the remaining cards in a draw pile nearby. Then build the Emporium by having each player turn over the top card and place it in a row near the draw pile. The player who draws the card closest to the nose cone is the first player. In this case, the lift engine is the closest to the nose cone, so the player who drew that card goes first. If a special card is drawn, that card is considered the furthest away from the nose cone. Any ties are resolved by having players draw and compare additional cards, which are then discarded. Each player's turn consists of drawing up to a hand of 5 cards and then performing 3 actions. When drawing up, you may draw from the draw pile, the Emporium, or both. If you draw from the Emporium, immediately replace the drawn card with 1 from the draw pile. If you begin your turn with 5 or more cards, you do not draw any more cards, and you do not discard any. You may then perform 3 actions. There are 5 possible actions to choose from, and the same action can be repeated. The most common action will be playing 1 airship or special card. To play an airship card, you lay the card down in the spot on your guide sheet that matches your airship part. Then you call out that part, and every other player with that airship part in their hand must play that part to their ship. For example, if you play a drive engine, everyone else must play a drive engine. If a player has more than 1 drive engine, the player may choose which drive engine to play. If a player already has a drive engine on their guide sheet, they must discard the current drive engine and replace it with 1 from their hand. If a player does not have a drive engine in their hand, they do nothing. To play a special card, simply follow the instructions on the card. In this case, Saboteur, you choose a player to discard 1 card of your choice from their airship. Another possible action is to discard 1 card from your hand. This may keep you from being forced to play the card by another player. Swapping 1 card from your hand with 1 card from the Emporium is also a possible action, as is replacing the Emporium with cards from the draw pile. If none of these actions is preferred, the player may also pass. When a player completes their airship, players play that final matching part from their hands and the round ends. Now you score the game. A scoring sheet is provided on the back of the rules to help make scoring easy. You may make as many copies of this sheet as you'd like. The first step in scoring your airship is to determine which suit was used most often. Every card in that suit scores 2 points. and every wild card scores 1 point. Players who completed their airship score another point, and the first player to complete the airship scores an additional point. If a player has an incomplete ship with no pairs and no wines, each card on the guide sheet scores 1 point. Players may also attempt to score the elusive muddle, which is a completed airship with each part from a different suit and no wilds. This airship is worth 20 points, and no additional bonus points are added to it. Any player with the gilded dynamotor in hand at the end of the round also receives another point. To start a new round, all cards are collected and shuffled, and each player is dealt a new hand of 5. A new emporium is built, and the player with the lowest score goes first. That player will have 4 actions on their first turn, and the usual 3 actions on subsequent turns. The player with the highest score after 3 rounds wins. While building their airships, players may want to consult the Handbook of Victorian Insults on the back of the rules to sling biting terms and vengeful sayings. Now you know everything you need to know to become the heir to the Hornswoggle factory. But watch out for perfidious rampallions and try not to shoot into the brown while you bite the tooth, you varlets. Happy airship building!
The manufactured video explained everything in detail, so I am briefly going to say this is a board game with cards. This game is a lot of fun, and has gotten good reviews. Perfect for families that want to play together, without taking too long for people to get bored. Good for family or club game nights, even for people who don't love steampunk, as much as you and I do. Well, that is it for the countdown. Thank you for watching. Please comment below if you have any questions or just want to say anything. Don't miss out. See you next time.